what's your emergency?
Welcome back to That Weewoo Show, a podcast where we watch and discuss episodes of the ABC show 911. I'm Bex.
I'm Alice.
And I'm Ellen.
And rumours of our demise have been greatly exaggerated. We are still here, we are still recording. We just disappeared for a little bit again. We're very sorry about that. Thank you to Kira, who called in a welfare check to make sure that we were okay. We're very sorry for scaring you. But you were very sweet to check on us. We do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We do. Life's been kicking us in the ass, but hopefully things are settling down again.
Never know.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
Touch wood, throw salt over your shoulder, turn around 3 times and spit, get bells and waving them in circles 9 times. Whatever we need to do. We do draw the line at sacrifice, animal or otherwise.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not okay with that.
We're not on board.
No, we are definitely not on board. We would also like to shout out John Oku, who left a comment on our episode of Jinx, funnily enough, saying that they forgot how ironic and hilarious that particular episode was, which it absolutely is.
It's so good.
And they do very much need to go and rewatch it.
Glad we could inspire that. We had fun.
Yeah, I think we did. Yes. It's been a while. I can't remember. Speaking of being unable to remember things, Alice, would you mind reminding us what happened last episode in 911?
Yes. So last week on 911, Michael and Bobby played amateur detectives and caught an illegal surgeon. Buck's terrible date introduced Albert to their new neighbour, and Hen's mother arrived into town to stay.
But after all of that heartache last week, she didn't show up at all this week.
Yeah, we don't say her this week.
Oh, yeah. That's right. She doesn't.
Even though she apparently lives there, she's gone.
Yeah.
She was having a sleepover. You know how it is.
Yep. All right. So this episode is episode 8, titled Breaking Point. And it first aired on March 8th. 2021. The official summary goes, the 118 are called to the tarmac when a flight attendant reaches her limit with her flight's passengers. Athena discovers that quarantine has pushed a couple to their breaking point.
Drink.
Yep. It's even in the actual summary this time.
It's in the summary.
Meanwhile, Eddie worries Christopher will not accept him dating, comma. Buck reconnects with an old flame. Buck reconnects with an old flame and finds himself in the middle of Albert's new relationship. And Maddie and Chimney make and Maddie and Chimney make a big decision about their baby. Those are 3 separate incidents. Buck is not in the middle of everybody's relationships. Sad. Or not sadly.
I mean, he usually is, but you know.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Not this time.
So yeah, in this episode we do have the triggers include claustrophobia, which is being sealed behind a wall. We have domestic violence, foster care system, minor gore, and needles in the form of lots of people given a vaccine. We've got some theories as to why this scene is actually in this episode. So,
okay, let's get into it then. So we are going to start, like the summary said, on the tarmac at an airport. We're not told which airport we're at. We're just at a generic airport on a generic airplane, which is currently waiting for a gate. And it appears that it's been waiting for a while because our 2 favourite baggage handlers are just hanging out on one of their baggage carts.
Yeah,
and
I saw these guys and I was like, I'm sure we've seen that guy before. Was he one of the guys?
We have.
Yeah.
So you and Buck
did better
on the
than me.
same wavelength there.
Yeah, I didn't recognise him at all. I was like, what?
I don't know why I recognised him. I just looked at him and went, I'm sure we've seen that guy before. But yeah.
Yes, so they Daryl, which is the more, what is the word I'm looking for? Conscientious worker of the two of them. Tells us that the flight from Orlando has been delayed again.
Yeah, I feel sorry for these plane passengers because, I mean, Orlando is in Florida, right? So it'd be like a, I don't know, 5-hour flight or something across the country, and then they're stuck on this plane.
So they've already been waiting for a little while, and then we cut to inside the plane, and we're told that they have to wait for another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of my friends was actually on a flight this week, and her flight was delayed after they'd already boarded all the passengers. So before they left, they were just stuck on the tarmac for 3 hours.
Oh, 3 hours.
Oh, my God.
Well, that happened
3
to us
hours.
when we were leaving Melbourne the other few weeks ago. We were stuck on the plane for like an hour before we left, but it wasn't 3 hours.
Oof. Yeah.
Why didn't they deboard the plane? Is that because
No
they
idea.
then have to take all the luggage off as well?
I assume so. I'm not too sure. All I know is that she was stuck there
It's-
for 3 hours. Luckily, she wasn't
awful.
flying alone, so
That
she had
was-
someone to chat to, but yeah, far out.
Oh, God. So, for reasons known only to the writers of 911, there is only one cabin crew working this entire plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the
I-
others. Like, they got lost mid-flight, but there's usually more than one flight attendant.
Well, judging by the number of rows across, I'm guessing that these guys are... My only explanation is that these guys are business class or first class, because there is a shot at one point where we see kind of a curtain behind the back row. So I'm assuming there are more cabin crew, like, further down the plane, because there's no way that you would have, like, a row on the... They have 3 rows. Columns? So you've got
Yeah.
2
Rows?
seats down
Rows.
the side, you've got seats in the middle, and then seats at the window. There's no way the plane would have, like, that many rows, and then that's just it.
Yeah, it does seem
would
like a
have to
very
go
small
back
plane.
further.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But even so, there should be at least one. Like, I feel like there should be more
There
crew
should
around,
at least-
right?
Definitely, and there should be more crew when, like, Molly loses her shit later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chief purser should be coming up to, like, what the fuck is going on, woman? But we'll get there. So we have to see the chaos, because the passengers are they are very frustrated to be sitting in the airplane, and they're starting to get restless.
Mm-hmm.
They're reaching their
For safety,
breaking point.
Breaking point.
yeah, for safety reasons, they have to stay, like, in their seat with their seatbelts on, because the plane might start moving at any moment. But they're done. Like, one gentleman gets up to try and get his bag out of the overhead locker, which pisses Molly off, because she's like, you have to, like, your bag can wait. He's like, no, I'm getting it now, and then I will sit down. There is a child who requests apple juice, and because they are still technically taxiing, there's no beverage service at that point. And the child's mother has requested the apple juice. The child is too busy sneezing and then pulling its mask down to wipe its nose on its sleeve.
Ugh.
It.
And then they sneeze in Molly's face as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
lovely.
yeah, because at some point the mucus gets too much, and the mother, like, yeets the kid into the aisle to get a tissue. And when Molly kind of crouches down to go, I'll get you a tissue, but you got to get back in your seat, it full-on sneezes in her face.
Yeah.
Sends her flying backwards, but that's not the straw that broke the camel's back. The straw that broke the camel's back is another gentleman who had got out of his seat to go to the bathroom, which, again, you're not supposed to do when the plane is waiting, because technically it's taxiing. The toilets are closed because it's a safety issue. When Molly goes flying backwards, he takes the opportunity to cop a feel, as he so gentlemanly helps her to her feet.
Yeah. And yeah, she just loses her shit at that point.
I'm pretty sure the, like, 5 bottles of airplane alcohol that she downed
Oh yeah,
to try and calm her
Yeah, I
nerves
forgot
did
about that.
not help.
She, at one point when she went into the
Not at
front
all.
there to hide, to kind of gather her wits, and pulled out a bunch of little bottles of alcohol and just swilled them. Yeah, that's not
After
helping.
she begged the captain, why can't we just push the other plane out of the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The captain's like, yeah, we can't do that. Just calm them down. So she,
Her breaking
clears out
point
all of the little...
is rapidly approaching, and she's about to get
Yes. So she's boozed up. She's pissed off. She's just been sneezed on and groped. So she gets back onto the loudspeaker and says that on behalf of the entire flight crew, and I'm like, what flight crew?
good. Yeah, where are they?
That
Just you, lady.
let's just say that on behalf of herself, that all of her passengers are a bunch of ungrateful, disgusting, miserable, spoiled brats, and she is done. So she asks all of her passengers to put their tray tables in the go screw yourself position and place your personal belongings where the sun don't shine, because this is where she gets off. And she grabs a bottle of champagne out of the galley fridge, deploys the emergency evacuation slide, and declares Molly out.
I know this part is actually based on a true story where a flight attendant quit and just used the emergency exit to yeet himself out of the plane.
Yes. But what I found hard to believe was that after all of the actual emergency cards that you get in the back of your seat pocket show you the correct way to go down the slide. And I am sure anybody who works
off like
She
an
just-
idiot.
She just throws herself down it. She doesn't even...
She just
try.
throws herself down, and I am sure that the cabin crew would have training on how to properly slide down the slide safely so that they can, land elegantly and be ready to help the passengers as they come sliding off with their pet carriers and their luggage.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. She just yeets herself and goes roly-polying down. Daryl sees this. And he jumps into the baggage carrying cart and starts driving towards the plane and the slide so that he can offer assistance. And I think we are supposed to believe that the roly-polying action was enough to cause pressure to build up in the champagne bottle, and it caused the bottle to release the cork prematurely.
Yeah, she must have been starting to undo it as she's jumping out or something.
Because we see where that cork ends up in a second, and it still has the musleh, which is the little wire cage that goes over the top of the cork, which is to stop the cork from flying off.
Mm-hmm.
So unless she had completely loosened that before, it's so very much for the drama.
For the drama, the champagne cork... Daryl is running towards her, basically going to catch her as she comes down the slide.
Yes.
I don't know what he thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
I don't
but
know.
she barrels into him, and he ends up... we don't actually see what happens to him, but we see Wade, the other guy, and he is like, oh my God, he's freaking out about it.
We hear champagne cork popping 31.wav.
Yes.
And then we see the other guy freaking out. And then we get the title card.
Yeah. And after the title card, we get the 118 on the tarmac, just, for a change.
I don't know if the airport has their own... I assume this is LAX. I don't know if the airport has their own firefighters, but that doesn't matter because the 118 are there, and screw those guys.
I'm going to assume, I think they do, but they still call external. We must have had this discussion before because this is not the first time that the 118 have been called to an airport.
Yeah.
The most interesting part is that, so the 118 have been called, they get onto the tarmac and over to the plane. Daryl can't breathe this entire time, and yet they've been dispatched, got to the airport, got onto the tarmac, which surely requires some sort of
security clearance.
clearance.
Yeah.
And he's still struggling to breathe. Anyway, so yeah.
So he must be able to breathe a little bit then. But he's having trouble breathing.
I don't know.
That's what
Yes.
Wade says.
So, Hen's trying to deal with Molly, and Wade is just like,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no,
because-
like, ignore her.
Yeah, like the 118 immediately just zero in on Molly, and they're like, no. Ignore her. She's the reason that this is all happened.
She's fine. Ignore her.
Ignore her. She can deal with her consequences of her own actions. Work on my friend here.
Yeah, because, Daryl has a cork in his throat. The whole
like
thing, like including the metal cage.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's exactly where you would do a tracheotomy, so they can't even trach him to help him breathe.
I would have thought that they could cut a hole in the lungs or something like that.
Don't know, and I would have thought that if he can breathe somewhat, then maybe they should have been hurrying him off to the hospital so that he would be in a more sterile and expertise environment. But no, we need to take the cork out right here.
Because we need to get the joke about operation. They have to.
Of course,
you're 100% right. They should have packed that. They should have done something to get him as much oxygen as they could and whisked him off to hospital for emergency surgery.
Yeah.
In my professional,
but when has this show ever done? When has this show ever done what is actually what they should be doing?
So they work out that he doesn't have any fluid in his lungs and he's not coughing up blood.
What's funny is that we've got Chim and Hen working on Daryl and the cork. Eddie is working on Molly. Buck is just kind of looking backwards and forwards and staring at Daryl. You can see his brain ticking over.
He has got an amazing
and
memory.
The one brain cell, like considering Eddie is working, like, so he's got the brain cell at the moment. Buck is doing his hardest to get it back. He's like, no, give me just for a sec. I just need it for a sec.
He finally goes, is it just me or does this guy look familiar? And Bobby's the one that connects the dots and goes, oh yeah, this is the guy we pulled out of the jet engine.
Yeah, I don't know how they remember that. I remember nobody, ever. Didn't remember this guy. Like
Eddie goes, his job seems more dangerous than ours.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'd agree with
Chim says that they can't, if we try to pull it out, it'll clip the arteries because of the metal. And Hen just says, you got to try and pull it out really carefully because we don't have another choice. Like, Hen, you do have another choice.
We just kind of do have another choice.
But, okay, let's do this. Meanwhile, Molly is in the background, we don't care about Molly. Getting a neck brace and stuff on her. And, yeah.
We don't talk about Bruno. We don't care about Molly.
We don't care about Molly.
Uh-huh. This is where Chim talks about Operation. It's like, I guess all that time playing Operation is finally going to pay off.
Wade is trying to inspire Daryl to keep breathing and survive this whole ordeal, and says that I know that I give you a hard time because you love this stupid job, but it's really inspiring. I wish I cared about anything as much as you care about these bags. And Molly's in the background like, oh my God, shut up. Try flying the unfriendly skies. It's all rainbows and unicorns on the ground. And Wade's like, you don't know what Daryl's been through, lady.
Yeah.
He got sucked into a jet engine with a bunch of golf clubs and he was fine.
I feel like we've seen him before as well. Or is it just that?
I think it's just Daryl.
Just that one?
He might have been in Supernatural. I don't know, I didn't look these guys up for that reason. I'm totally going to Google it now though. Hen and Chimney are playing Operation.
I don't know what Hen is doing though.
I think she's trying to move the metal bit out of the way so that they can pull it out easier because they don't want to shred his windpipe with the metal bit.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're poking around and eventually, and she needs to concentrate so that she can fiddle around in the wound so that then Chim can very carefully pull the cork and the muesli out without causing more damage. Which he does.
Yeah, and there's still a great big hole in his neck and they cover it up.
They stuff it full of gauze.
And hopefully he survives. I don't know, we never find out. But he can breathe again.
Wade is like, I knew he'd pull through. Nothing stops Daryl, not a jet engine, crazy white ladies. He'll not quit. And then Daryl, like, waves Wade over and just goes, I quit.
And then Molly says, me too. And then Buck utters the...
Exposition Buck.
Yeah, utters the episode title. I guess everyone has their breaking point.
Drink.
I feel like I'm actually going to need, like, some alcohol for this episode to get all the way through. Oh, it's very...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, full disclosure, we're not the biggest fans of this episode. So if this is your favourite episode for some reason or another, we're really
sorry.
I think I even put in the group chat before I started watching this episode again. I'm like, guys, I don't like this episode at all. And it's only going to get worse once I actually start dissecting it.
Interestingly, I looked it up because, I always have the 911 wiki open while we're recording. This was the winter final.
Ew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, like, this is what they left everyone with for however long the winter break is.
Gross. I don't know that I would have been inspired to, wait a couple of weeks after that episode.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 months or something that they... Oh, I don't know about the Fox schedule, actually.
Okay, the guy who plays Wade is called... His name is Daniel Curtis Lee. He's actually in 2 episodes of 911.
Oh, so he must have been... Yeah.
This one and...
He's in an episode in season 3, Christmas Spirit. Is that the one that...
Yep,
the same
that's
one?
the jet
So
engine
he was
one.
in the previous one as well.
The jet engine one.
He was also in...
I don't recognise anyone ever.
He was also in Glee, and he was in one episode of The Shield. So...
How was this the winter final when it aired on March 8th?
I don't know.
What? When did Blindsided air? Okay, so this aired on, what did I just say, March 8th?
Yes.
It didn't come back till April 19.
Yeah, that was the spring...
There was a short hiatus in the middle there.
Yeah, there's like always a short, but yeah, I don't know why. Anyway. So this was like the hiatus. And it's a very much filler episode. Anyway, then we get the weirdest... This is
oh
so
my
weird.
God. This is so bad.
It's so weird.
So we come back from commercial and it is the close-up of what looks to be a date night. We have a table that's set with candles, there's wine, there's mostly eaten plates of food. The food looks terrible. And look at it. It's iceberg lettuce with pasta with like big cubes of cheddar cheese in the pasta and the sauce.
I didn't look that hard.
Like, what the
No, I
hell?
wasn't looking that close. Oh my God. Speaking of close though.
Like, there's like sultry R&B music playing and we hear Anna and Eddie. And Anna's like, oh. Eddie's like, no, let me. And I was like, oh, you're almost there. You're so close. And the camera's panning away from the table across the living room. We see Anna's heels have been kicked off. And then instead of getting the sex scene that the writers are like trying to make the audience believe that we're about to see, instead we see Eddie struggling to do 4th grade math.
It makes no sense. Like the context makes no sense.
No.
And why are they doing it on a date night?
No sense.
Like, I know Anna's a teacher, but like...
Why is Anna like, oh my
she's
God,
also
you're
an
almost
English
there.
teacher.
You're so close.
Why are they
Literally,
doing maths homework when she's an English teacher?
I don't understand this scene at all. Like,
Yes.
they just wanted to put in the, we're going to think that they're having sex scene. But it makes no
Yes.
sense.
No,
Like, they
it
could have
doesn't.
done this so much better, and they did not. It's so bad.
It's so bad because they completely underestimate the audience's media literacy. Like, nobody was watching that scene going, oh my God, we're about to see boobies because somebody's getting some. Like, no, you're not going to see anything. It's going to be a bait and switch. And that's exactly what it was.
Mhm.
It's
So,
so
yeah,
dumb.
so,
like, what?
like the
Anyway.
end. Anyway, so Eddie is struggling
They're
to do
doing math.
4th grade math.
Eddie's mad because they've changed the way that they do it. Because they do, what's it called now? Common Core or some shit?
In the States, yes, it hasn't really changed for our kids, but it's changed quite a bit for the kids in the States, and he's still struggling. But the lead up for this is Anna offering to come over and help Christopher with his math homework, and then Eddie absolutely freezing and panicking at the suggestion. Because
Eddie panicking around a girl?
Ready.
That doesn't sound. Anyway. So Anna completely understands that there hasn't been anyone else since Chris lost his mother. Christopher's very sensitive. Eddie's like, you're an amazing woman and a great cook and a terrible math teacher.
I throw in terrible cook too, because that meal looked pretty shite, really.
I'm pretty sure Eddie can't cook either, so
he's getting better. We do have to mention that Anna has this habit of Edmundoing him, and he melts every single time.
Yes, the hard eyes definitely come out when she Edmundos him.
So the amazing woman, terrible math teacher, is apparently like student-teacher flirtation, because Anna then pushes back saying, oh, sure, blame the teacher. That's what all the lazy students do. And Eddie's like, oh, lazy? And I was like, you heard me. Well, maybe you need to keep me after class. And the entire time he's doing this, he's leaning in closer and closer, and she's leaning in closer and closer. And they're angling their heads. And Ryan does like the fingers under the chin to like tip the chin back a little, so that they're a perfect angle for kissing.
Aww.
And then Eddie's phone alarm goes off.
And then his alarm goes off, yes. Like, they are inches away from kissing. They are, like, smelling each other's breath at this point. And the alarm goes off.
And he just stops. He's like, I've got to get home.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you get for talking instead of going in for it.
You couldn't wait 30 seconds? Like,
shut up and do
Christ.
it.
No, it's that alarm's got to go off, and he's immediately packing up his books and hurrying out of the house, and Anna's just left on the couch going, oh, class dismissed.
Yep.
Poor Anna.
So Eddie rushes home, but he doesn't rush home fast enough, because as he sneaks in the front door, he gets a very accusatory, you're late, from the babysitter, who happens to be Buck, who is lurking by the front door, waiting for his friend to come home.
No wonder Christopher's struggling with Eddie dating Buck. Eddie wasn't even there for it.
So, yes, Christopher is already in bed, and apparently that makes Buck a miracle worker. But Buck says no, he's just an excellent negotiator. He got in the bed and got ready for bed, but Buck was not allowed to turn out the lights or tell him a story. That's your job, basically. And Eddie's like, probably just as well after you told him that little thing about the kid in the rotisserie. It's like, oh my God, what is this story? It sounds awful.
Yeah, like,
I want to hear this story.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't a story, it was a cautionary tale.
Which means that it was 100% a call that they went on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of horrific, but anyway, yeah. But Eddie doesn't even see Buck out or anything. He's just like, oh, well, thanks for watching him. And then he like pisses off into the room, and Buck's like, okay, bye. Oh, but not before he asks how the big date was.
Yeah, and Eddie's like, it was nice she taught me math.
Buck's like, I thought I'd been single too long. It's like, oh, Buck, I'm sorry.
Poor Buck. And yeah, then just Buck clearly just like leaves himself because Eddie just goes into Christopher's room.
He doesn't say bye or anything. He's just like, okay, you're done, bye.
Yeah.
I mean, off you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so Chris is very accusational when Eddie gets in. He's like, where were you? So Eddie says that he told Chris he was at dinner with an old friend. And Chris says, from Texas? But no. From the army? No. And yeah, Eddie's being very evasive.
I missed Chris. We haven't seen Chris in ages, and this scene was so
Yeah,
lovely.
he hasn't been in the last few episodes, so it was so nice to see him.
I'd missed him. It was really nice to see him again.
But yeah, so Chris asks again who he was out to dinner with, and Eddie says, nice try, but we both know you're supposed to be asleep. We can talk about everything else another day. So Chris goes, okay, tell me a story. And when Eddie asks which one, he goes, the one about your friend.
Cheeky.
Oh, such a little shit.
Eventually, Eddie manages to escape. Christopher must go to sleep. And we are going to check back in on Buck, who has just returned to his loft. It's dark except for the sort of flickering lights of the TV. So he heads towards the TV where he can see Albert sitting on the couch. But before he gets there, he accidentally hits a basket of laundry that's just like in the middle of the walkway.
Literally just in the middle of the floor.
Nowhere near the couch. It's like someone came around the steps and just dropped the laundry basket by the steps. And if that's not weird enough, what's even weirder is that there is a bra in the basket of laundry. And unless Albert has really been feeling himself now that he's in the States, I don't think it's his. It doesn't look, the strap does not look like wide enough to fit around Oliver's chest. So it's probably not Buck's either.
Hey, he's not that much of a brick wall yet, but yeah, no, it's not, No, it's Veronica's. But yeah, Albert's just like, oh, Buck, what are you doing home? We thought you were babysitting. And Buck's like, yep, and now I'm home.
But he also picks up on the we.
He did not expect to see Veronica here in his apartment. Apparently they were doing some laundry and Netflix and chilling. And at this point, I was like, okay, I have to headcanon that Veronica also lives with an annoying brother-in-law in her studio apartment, because why aren't they at her place?
Well, they thought Buck was going to be out babysitting all night.
But it's not even Albert's house. Veronica has her own house.
And she had to haul her laundry from her apartment down the hall to Buck and Albert's apartment.
Yeah, that doesn't explain why they're doing laundry at Buck's place. But
No, because they're not they can't do the laundry in Buck's apartment. They would have to go down to like the laundry room, right? So all they would be doing would be possibly folding laundry, which she can't do anything once it's folded because she can't put it away. It's just the weirdest thing.
it is weird.
I don't understand why they're at Buck's place and not her place, because, like, Buck's gonna come home at some point.
Yeah, but maybe they thought he was
So,
staying
like,
the
why
whole
not
night.
just go to Veronica's place? If Veronica lives alone, that would be easier for them. So I'm like,
because
I have to headcanon
It's
that
the
Veronica
drama.
also has an annoying roommate who happens to be home, and that's why they're at Buck's place. Because otherwise I don't know why they're
the
not.
reason they did this because they had to, we had to rub Albert and Veronica in Buck's face, which then causes the whole thing with Taylor later on, yada, yada.
But yeah, it makes no sense. I don't like it.
No. So Buck pieces out, goes up to his loft, says that he's just going to go to bed. Veronica pipes up, yeah, us too. And I'm going, bitch, where are you sleeping?
Yeah, where? Where are you going? Albert's on the
Please
couch.
tell me that you are not sleeping on the couch with Albert. Because I know it's a nice couch, but I don't think it fits both of you.
She can sleep on Albert, who's sleeping on the couch.
And don't sleep together on Buck's couch. And, like, as in, don't have sex on Buck's couch. And
Yeah, don't have sex on someone else's couch. It's very
when
rude.
Buck is there in a studio apartment.
And considering that's a loft, that's not an enclosed space.
No.
So he can 100% hear anything that's happening downstairs.
Yes. Please go to Veronica's place.
Go. Yes, Veronica, go home. Take Albert with you.
Yeah. Anyway, Buck's mad.
So weird. So fucking
Buck is
weird.
really mad.
All right, we're going to check in on Maddie, who is gigantically pregnant right now.
Yeah.
She's huge. She's going to pop. But they're having an appointment via Zoom.
Why?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're allowed to go to the hospital for an appointment.
Because here's the thing. They're talking about the numbers that they sent Dr. the OBGYN, which is like blood pressure, kick count, everything. So they would have had to have gone to a clinic or a hospital to like get those numbers, right? So why didn't they just go to her office to get it?
Yeah, it's so weird.
This storyline is ridiculous. Like most of the storylines in this episode are ridiculous. This one I found even more ridiculous. But anyway, we will continue. So the point of the phone call is that Dr. Heller needs Maddie to reconsider her birth plan because Dr. Heller cannot guarantee that she will be the person standing at the foot of the bed when Maddie goes into labour. Her reasoning is that they've had to pull people off the OBGYN floor to help out in the ER, and so that her office's protocols are changing. So she's going to send all that information over to Maddie, and Maddie and Chim need to have a look and then reconsider what they want to do. And Maddie is just shell-shocked.
It's in America, it weirds me out because doctors deliver the babies and not a midwife. So in Australia, our babies are generally...
If you go to a private hospital, it'll often be the obstetrician who will deliver.
Yeah, you can go private. You can get an OBGYN who will manage the care during the pregnancy and who will supposedly be there for the delivery. But yes, in Australia, there is no guarantee that your OBGYN will be there unless you are having an induction or a scheduled C-section, because they might not be on call when you go into labour. They might be away. Something might have happened. So you can pay through your private health insurance to have this OBGYN and still end up with somebody else at the foot of the bed. Yeah. There is never a guarantee that your primary care provider is going to be there when you give birth. That's just the reality of pregnancy and labour for everybody.
Oh, yeah, because it's like you never know when it's going to be. But yeah, no. Like, so in Australia, generally it's the nurses that deliver the babies, not the doctors. Unless it's a C-section, in which case, like, obviously it's a surgeon.
But to bring it back to 911, apparently nobody has told Maddie that this is completely normal, that your OBGYN may not be the person at the end of the bed. I think she is slightly worried about the COVID protocols as well, which, yes, that cracked down on how many people coming into the hospital and whether you could have somebody with you during labour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know my best friend gave birth in 2020. Yeah, September 2020 was when her son was born.
Oh.
And her husband was allowed to be in the room, but then, like, as soon as the baby was born, he had to leave. Like, he wasn't allowed to stay there overnight. He wasn't allowed to, be there for a prolonged period. Her mum wasn't allowed to visit because she really wanted her mum there. And her mum wasn't allowed to visit. Her husband wasn't allowed at any of the ultrasound appointments.
That sucks.
She had a really bad experience at one of the ultrasound appointments, and her husband was just at work.
Hmm.
100% it makes sense. You don't want someone who's immunocompromised to possibly be exposed to COVID. And then you don't want babies to be exposed to COVID because they have absolutely no immunity themselves yet and have never. But it sucks for the grown-ups.
Yeah. That's it.
So Maddie's issue is that pregnancy and labour and birth is supposed to be a joyous occasion, and suddenly it's being very sort of medicalized, and it's not very joyous right now.
Yeah.
So she says she's not having our baby in a parking lot, and she's not doing it without Chimney, so she has decided they are going to have a home birth.
I don't know why her first thought was parking lot. She's still allowed in the hospital even if her doctor's not there, but sure.
I mean, we do see later on with Taylor's storyline that there are marquees set up in the parking lot with COVID overflow treatment rooms.
Yeah,
so,
maybe that's. But it's just.
Yeah,
it's
so
just
she's worried
weird.
about there being no room for her at the hospital at all.
Yeah, I mean, you could theorize that she's catastrophizing at this point.
Yeah. I mean, people do still have home births in this day and age, and they're totally fine. But yeah, she's changed her mind completely and decided she wants a home birth. Chim just stares at her, and then we cut to a commercial. And when we come back, we get Channel 8 News and Taylor Kelly.
Yay!
Yay, Taylor!
She's back.
She is covering a standoff with a crazed gunman, is what the Channel 8 News sort of ticker tape on the screen tells us.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there was a man caught breaking and entering. He decided to run from the LAPD by going out a second-story window and running across the rooftops. He's not exactly the brightest spark because he ran into or followed the houses into a cul-de-sac. And now he's got nowhere to go.
But he also doesn't want to get off the roof, so he's just waving his gun while standing up there.
Yep. They've deployed, like, everybody is there. They've got the 118 there on standby. They've got LAPD have cornered off the area. They've got, like, negotiators in to try and talk him down off the roof, much to the disgust of, I don't know if it's his house or one of the homeowners in the cul-de-sac. Actually, it is his house. My apologies.
It's his, yeah.
Who just wants the kid off his roof. He doesn't understand why everyone is just standing around.
Yeah, because no one can go anywhere or leave until they get this guy down. So they're all just sitting around waiting, watching.
Yes.
But it gives them a good opportunity to air all of their grievances that are going on in their lives and have a chat about, catch up what's been happening with everybody.
Yeah, because they're there for hours. What else are they going to do?
Exactly.
Honestly, this segment, like this scene is probably the my favorite part of the episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's so dumb, but it's so good because they're all just bitching at each other. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, Buck's bitching at just a random cop. Oh, no, is it Eddie that's bitching at a random cop at one point, or Buck?
I think they both do at different times.
It's Buck, yeah. So Buck's like bitching at a random cop at one point, and he's just like, okay.
I thought he was bitching at the hostage, the negotiator guy who
he was.
Yeah,
he was. It was the hostage negotiator, and I swear he must have given Buck a time limit because Buck's talking about what he's talking about, and then the negotiator's watch goes off, and he's like, "Oh, time's up."
He was probably on break, and he got like bailed up by Buck, and he's like,
Literally.
"Okay, look, I gotta go again.
So
bye."
Great. Yeah, bye.
Anyway.
So Athena's there. Obviously, the 118 are there. And Taylor Kelly's there.
The 118 are putting money on what is going to happen to the guy. Hen's got $10 on that he falls off the roof. Eddie's got 20 that he makes the jump for a tree. I think Chimney goes in on one of those as well.
Eddie's reasoning is that the guy's got at least one more bad life choice left in him.
Do we think that Hen gets it? Because she said
I don't know.
That he falls off the roof.
Yeah, she must take
Does that
it.
count Does that count as falling? Because it was an assisted fall.
I mean, he still falls.
They do actually explain why they're just leaving him on the roof. So, like, Hen's like, it'd be tragic if it wasn't so moronic. But, so they don't storm the roof because it's a tactic that the negotiators use to drag out the process in order to wear down the suspect. And eventually the suspect will just hit a breaking point.
Drink. Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah. They're literally just letting him, like, yell himself hoarse and pace back and forth to get himself down. Because he does have a gun, so it is a dangerous situation. They don't want him to shoot anyone and hurt anyone. But yeah, so that's why they're all just hanging out. So we get captions as well.
Yes, we do get the captions like 1 hour in, 2 hours in. So after the first hour...
let's break this down hour by hour. So 1 hour in.
Yeah, Buck has found Taylor.
And in between her bits to camera, she's hearing him bitch about Albert and Veronica.
Yeah, so in between, like, when she's reporting live, he's filling her in on... thing. So, like, as soon as the cameraman's like, and we're clear, Taylor goes, so you went to apologise about the date.
Poor Taylor.
And Buck's like, yeah. So then Albert walks out of her bathroom in a towel. So, like, clearly they'd been mid-conversation and they're just like, oh, Taylor, we're an hour in, we have to give her an update. And they just continue it. It's great.
But what I love about this exchange is that Taylor is not amazed at Albert's audacity. She is amazed that Buck has an apartment.
Yeah.
Because the last time she hooked up with Buck, he had just moved out of Abby's apartment and was sleeping on somebody's couch. I think it was still Maddie's at that point.
Yeah, and then, so I think from Maddie he moved to Chim's, I think?
Yes.
And yeah, so they were hooking up in first the karaoke bathroom and then the back of her news van. So yeah, she's very amazed that he has an apartment. Then we go to 2 hours in, and we've got Hen and Chimney. And yeah, Hen's like, so Maddie really wants to have this baby at home. Chimney's like, I was a nurse, you're a paramedic, what could possibly go wrong? And Hen's like, yeah, I feel like a 911 dispatcher should know the answer to that question.
She really should. 3 hours in, and the LAPD are taking Cody's lunch order, which infuriates the homeowner. Like, why are they taking lunch orders instead of arresting him? And Athena is trying to explain to him they think that the food will build trust. At this point, a pizza delivery man is let through the cordon with like an entire stack of pizzas, and she's like, "Oh, good lord, how much trust are we building?" But no, that's not for the thief.
Eddie's
that's
like,
for
no,
the
that's
118.
For us. So the homeowner's just like, why has everyone got to get to eat but me? Maybe I'm hungry too. And Eddie's like, do you want some? Like, you can have some.
And he just shrugs and goes, okay, whatever. Just give me the damn pizza.
So then 4 hours in is my favourite part.
Buck has moved on to talking to the police negotiator, and I think he's after a male point of view because he's claiming that what Albert did breaches the bro code. Except the negotiator has never heard of the bro code before. Buck's like, yeah, you know, the unwritten rules of male friendship.
He's clearly never watched How I Met Your Mother. And the negotiator's like, I don't think that's a real thing. And Buck's like, how do you know it's unwritten? So then the negotiator asks how long Buck dated the woman, and Buck's like 90 minutes, maybe less, because we took dessert to go.
Even if there is a bro code, that would not at all.
Yeah, less than 90 minutes,
like,
I don't think counts. Yeah.
At that's the point the negotiator's alarm goes off, and he's like, and I'm done. Good luck. 5 hours in is my favourite. Like, 4 hours was funny, 5 hours is my favourite because everyone has just given up and they are now chanting softly, begging this dude to jump.
So the camera pans real slowly over the 118. So the 118 are all leaning against the fire truck, and it starts on Eddie, who's just jump, 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 jump. And then it pans over to like Hen and Chim, jump, jump, jump. And then it pans over and Bobby is also jump, jump.
Yeah, he's got his little hands up.
6 hours in, and the dude has not jumped. He's still up on the roof.
He's still there.
Eddie is now talking to Mum and Dad, aka Bobby and Athena, about his woes. Being, how does he tell Christopher that he is A, dating, and B, dating Christopher's teacher?
They tell him that
that's pretty much all it is.
He should rip off the Band-Aid and tell him before he figures it out on his own. And Eddie's still umming and ahhing. He's like, I don't know what to say. Buck is still talking to Taylor. He's bailed her up again.
Buck's back to Taylor.
He's gone back to Taylor.
Yeah, he's looped around. He's gone back to Taylor. He's spoken to everyone and he's gone back to Taylor.
Oh, I don't know.
Poor guy. He thought this was going to be his year because he started going to therapy. He started working on his issue with his parents, and he felt ready to meet someone and start a meaningful relationship. I do love that Taylor's like, I've met the people you work with. Your life is nothing but meaningful relationships.
Oh.
Buck's like, yeah, but I can't sleep with any of them.
Yeah, right?
No,
he's like, I've tried. Eddie keeps turning me down.
No, Buck's response is, it doesn't seem the same. And Taylor asks, do you ever think maybe you just need to be patient, let the universe come to you? And Buck gives her the side eye, have you met me? Do you even know me at all? She's like, yeah, no.
Patience?
Let the universe scream at you.
Yeah. The universe doesn't scream, Buck. While these two are having their conversation, in the background, Mr. Knowles has taken matters into his own hands and he's found a ladder. And you can see him walking past with this ladder tucked under his arm. So the negotiator is still working with our wannabe thief, who is now treating this as a therapy session.
The poor negotiator is literally just being a therapist.
Yes. And the thief's name is Corey. He's, complaining about his mother and his brother and how his mother loved his brother more and his brother got everything he wanted and Corey never got anything. Life never went his way. When is it my
Corey
turn?
wanted a dog.
I don't care. Nobody cares.
Yeah, Corey always wanted a dog.
No, it doesn't matter because all it is it's a lead up to him going, life always goes his way. When is it my turn to fly? And suddenly he goes flying off the roof.
Yeah,
because Mr. Knowles has climbed up the other side and pushed him off the roof. And Corey goes flying straight into the car parked. I'm assuming that's Mr. Knowles' car.
Yeah, right. It's got to be
the
the homeowner's
driveway.
car. Yeah.
And he shouts from the top of the roof. He's like, the rest of y'all can get out of here too. It's like, wow, dude.
But it's such a relief because the 118 just immediately start running into action because finally they've got something to do. The negotiator's just sort of clutching his pearls going, oh, Corey, no, because he thought the kid jumped. But no, he was pushed. He did fall though, which is why I think Ken should be entitled to the pot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that's 6 hours later they can all go home now.
I wonder if that was I wonder if they were on overtime after that, like if that was the end of the shift and they were just not allowed to leave, so, or if they had to go back to the station and sit around for a little while more.
Yeah, right.
They probably did.
Well, now Buck's at home,
like daytime.
finally. Yeah, he's got some groceries and he's putting them away. But just then Albert comes in and he also has some groceries. And he's like, it was my turn to buy groceries. But Buck says that he's been spending so much time at Veronica's that he bought some anyway.
Yeah, so Albert is allowed at Veronica's, but I don't understand what... Anyway.
He offers to stop seeing Veronica if Buck would like that. And Buck's like, no, it's fine.
Yeah, but it's not, I'll stop seeing Veronica. It's just, it was so hard. I was so lonely and I didn't get to meet people. And suddenly I met this cool chick. But I will stop seeing her if you really want me to.
Yeah, that's not really
Buck's
giving...
not going to turn around and go.
It's not really giving Buck much of an opportunity to say no. So Buck's just like, no, it's fine. And Albert's happy. They're going to work on it together. On Thursday.
They have to work through the awkwardness. So yes, they are going to work through it together at Veronica's Thursday night for dinner.
Yeah, which sounds so much fun.
It sounds extremely
awkward. And Albert
awkward.
kind of rubs salt in the wound. He says, don't worry about being a third wheel. Which, to start with, I thought that Veronica was going to bring a friend.
Yes, same.
Set Buck up with. But even if she was, she's not going to get the chance because Buck's immediately like, oh, no, I'm not a third wheel. I have somebody that I can bring to dinner. Like, I'm seeing somebody right now. Albert's like, oh, that's great. I didn't know you were seeing anyone new. And Buck's like, oh, she's not new. And then we cut to Taylor on the phone with Buck as he asks her what she's doing Thursday night.
Oh, Taylor. Oh, Buck.
But before we find out how dinner's going to go Thursday night, we're going to go to the dispatch centre where Maddie's kind of heading into Gloria territory.
Well, she's having a time.
Yeah, she is a little bit.
She's cranky.
So she gets an emergency. Russ and Cindy's car was broken into. It's parked on the street because Russ wasn't going to pay in a parking lot because that's extortion. And he didn't even want to go downtown. Cindy was the one who wanted to go downtown because they were going to meet Cindy's friends. And Cindy's like, oh my God, excuse me for having friends. Maddie's like yelling at the phone.
Yeah, she's like,
you
hello?
called
like,
me.
Yeah, where are you? Are you at the car now? And they're not answering. They're too busy bickering. And then, I love yes, we're here. What? She's like, you called me.
So she gets the names and description of the car. And as this conversation is happening, Athena and May are walking up to Maddie's station and they hear her tone and they just kind of stop and look at each other. So Russ gives name, gives car model, and asks, "Are you sending the police?" And Maddie's like, "I've relayed the information and someone will get there when they can." Russ is very irate about this. Like, when they can? What, we're supposed to just sit here and wait? And Maddie's like, "Yes," and hangs up the call. Despite us being told over and over that they're not supposed to hang up on their calls. But
yeah.
she does.
But yeah, Maddie even says, "I've had enough."
And then she gets up,
That's when
turns
she
around and sees
turns.
Athena and May with like identical looks. Like, "Girl, are you okay?"
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, hi. Hi, Athena. It is nice to see you."
Yeah.
But Athena's just swinging by to have lunch with May. And she's like, "Are you okay?" And Maddie scurries off to the break room. She's like, "I need a minute." And then she says, like, Athena comes in to check on her, basically.
I'm hoping this is like after lunch. Otherwise, Athena ditched May for lunch and spent it with Maddie instead. So,
I immediately assumed that she looked at May and went, "I'm gonna go talk to her." And May's like, "Yeah, you go talk to her. We don't need to have lunch. You go deal with her. It's fine, Mum."
My husband's son's sister needs me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, this is like, this is where I started actually worrying about Maddie, because she's like, that is not even the first caller I've yelled at today. It's maybe the fifth. And I'm like, "Maddie, why are you at work? Like, you should not be here."
Sue should have taken her off.
America doesn't have maternity leave.
Like, not just for the maternity leave, but like, if she's in such a bad mood that she starts yelling at 5 of her callers, she should not be there, you know?
Yeah, Josh or Sue should have reassigned her at this point, honestly, or just sent her home.
Yeah,
but
those guys can hear everything that goes on in all of the calls, remember? So they should have heard.
Josh is at home on his day off and is suddenly just sat bolt upright and gone, "My spidey sense is tingling."
Yeah,
I felt a disturbance in the force.
Something's wrong with Maddie.
Rushes in from the lobby again.
Apparently she also yelled at her mother on the phone this morning, but I think that happens fairly regularly, so we don't need to worry about that too much.
Yeah, even Athena's
and
like, she probably
honestly,
had it coming. So
Margaret deserves it. I don't even know what they talked about. I don't know what Margaret said, but I am 100% on board with Maddie yelling at Margaret.
Well, she said she was worried about her having a home birth. So, yeah.
Yeah, so
grounds for
Margaret
yelling,
was actually worried about Maddie having a home birth. And when Athena's just like, "Oh, I'm surprised given your..." Maddie assumes she's going to say age. And Athena's like, no, background, you were a nurse. I figured you'd be all in for giving birth surrounded by all the medical bells and whistles. And then we get the whole, like, discussion again about how, you know, Maddie was really excited and
COVID had fucked everything up, basically.
Yeah, had this idea in her head how it was going to go. And now it's about protocols and tests and masks and no visitors at the hospital or at home. So the home birth was her way of trying to get back control.
Yeah. So Athena tells Maddie about her her pregnancies and her labours. With the entire point of the story is that it didn't matter what the pregnancy was like. It didn't matter what labour and delivery was like. All that mattered was when they placed the baby on Athena's chest. So it doesn't. The journey doesn't matter. It's the destination. And so she's trying to encourage Maddie to not focus on the bells and whistles and what labour is like, and just be excited and be ready however she gets there to meet her daughter.
Yeah, Maddie says that she can't wait, but there's part of her that wishes she could keep her inside and safe until the world gets better. I'm like, oh, Maddie, that's really sweet. I remember thinking that too. It's like, do I really have to bring the baby out of here? But Athena says a really touching thing. She says, maybe you'll find the world gets better once she's in it. So, thanks, Mum.
So from one set of mothers to be to another set of mothers, we're going to the Wilson house. Hen is studying at the dining table when suddenly we hear Karen sort of screaming from the kitchen because she has been attempting to have an important phone conversation while chopping vegetables, and inevitably has ended up chopping her finger.
Yep.
And she is
in fact, she thinks she's chopped
out.
It off.
She's being such a baby about it. It's quite hilarious, actually.
Maybe she's afraid of blood.
Luckily, Hen's the medical one in the... Yeah. Hen's the medical one in the family.
She's like, I think I chopped it off.
And Hen's like grabbing at her hand and examining the wound, and she's like, no, your finger's still attached. But when she goes to get the teeny tiny family first aid kit out so that she can start to patch Karen up, she discovers that there are absolutely no bandages or gauze or anything. All that's left in the first aid kit is like an ice pack, some tongue depressors, and Q-tips.
I was very surprised that Hen's first aid kit was so small. Because, like...
Right?
Yeah.
I would have assumed she'd have, like, a
an
massive
ex-nurse.
one.
Literally. So, like, my mum was a nurse and still works for, like, a hospital. And our first aid kit is literally, like, one of those big, like, plastic tubs that you get from, like, Kmart or Bunnings. And it's just full of, like, random shit. Like, including... We've got oxygen and everything because so many of us have asthma.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, we have oxygen. There's a nebulizer at the bottom of it. Yeah, there's so much shit in that first aid kit. There's so, like, whenever mum's just like, oh, I've used, like, one thing of, like, bandages, she goes and buys, like, 4 more. Whenever I'm like, oh, I cut myself, I need some Band-Aids. Mum's like, yeah, it's in the first aid kit. And there's, like, 12 boxes of different shapes and sizes. And
Good, good to be
and then
prepared.
there's the car ones, which are, like, still twice the size of Hen's home first aid, like, Hen's one. So, yes, I was very shocked that hers is tiny.
So was I.
The set deck people clearly, or the props department clearly aren't from a medical background.
No.
We've established that already, I think.
But even in just the tiny little, like, someone who is a paramedic would have, like, a much more detailed, much more fully stocked first aid kit in their house, especially with a child in the house.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
But despite the size of Hen's first aid kit, what's important is that the gauze and the alcohol wipes and the Band-Aids and the rolled bandages are scattered across the floor in a path leading to another room in the house. I don't know which room she's in, but Nia has taken all of the medical supplies out of the first aid kit and is running a illegal doctor's surgery out of her room. And all of her stuffies are her patients.
It's the guy from last week, except much cuter.
Yeah, like 30 years earlier. But this little actress is just so gorgeous. She's like...
She's so
there we go,
cute.
all better, Mrs. Pig. And then she's going to help Hen fix Mummy's finger.
How? Are they going to, like, take all the gauze, which has now, like, been contaminated because it's on the stuffies, and put that on Karen's hand?
I don't know. Hopefully some of it's wrapped up in plastic somewhere still and unused.
Hopefully she hasn't opened everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like Karen probably only needs, like, a Band-Aid. Like, has she really sliced her finger open that badly? Or is she just worried about the blood? I don't know. But anyway.
I don't know.
She's like, come on.
But
we'll make it better, Mummy.
So while Nia's gathering up her medical supplies, Hen remembers the other part of what Karen was trying to do. She was chopping, but she was also having an important conversation. So she checks in with her wife. Hey, what was the important conversation? The important conversation was apparently that Deirdre, the social worker, wants to come see Hen and Karen this weekend. And Hen is like, why is Deirdre coming to see us? And more importantly, why is Deirdre letting us know that she wants to come see us? Karen theorizes that Nia has been with them for almost a year, and that's usually when they start talking about permanent placement.
Mm-hmm.
And Hen goes, adoption? But before the conversation can go any further...
placement means, but sure.
Well, apparently 911 audience is stupid, so they've got to spell everything out. But the conversation doesn't go any further than that because Dr. Nia is ready to see her patient.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of stupid,
Oh
we'll
no!
get another 911 call.
This is so dumb.
Do we even have to go through this? Because this is so fucking stupid.
It's so weird.
We don't have to go through it in detail. We can just
No.
explain what happens and...
Okay, so Maddie gets a 911 call because there is a security alarm that is continuously going off, and the neighbors are getting sick of it. So she dispatches LAPD to do a welfare check, which of course means Athena gets dispatched. And yes, there is indeed a security alarm that continues to go off. Even once the homeowner enters in the code, the alarm will then reset and continue to go off.
Pretty sure this isn't how home alarms work, but sure.
There's like blue tape all over the house, on the floor and the walls and everything.
Everything in the room that Athena can see has stickers on it. Athena, in attempting to be helpful, tries to reset the security alarm, and the little panel says that the error, or the reason why the security alarm keeps getting triggered, is in the downstairs bedroom. So she goes down to examine the downstairs bedroom with the homeowner's consent, and we get, like, the tension starts to build because in this downstairs bedroom there is a large chest freezer. And Athena sort of starts to unsnap her holster because a large chest freezer, she doesn't know what it could be filled with.
Yeah, why would
It's
the
filled
alarm
with
be
meat.
going off about a chest freezer? I don't know. But anyway, she opens it
I don't
and
know.
it does not have a body in it.
It's a fake out. It has
Yeah, it's
meat
not
in
a
it, but
body.
it's not a body. It's animal meat. It's fine. Apparently, the homeowner's husband is a carnivore, and he was just stocking up to make sure they had enough meat. Why the freezer is in a bedroom, I don't know.
It's funny because I had a big chest freezer over COVID, and it was just full of dog fur.
Dog fur.
But dog food.
That makes sense.
Said husband is not on the premises. He is apparently away on business. The alarm goes off again. Athena sees that the reason that the alarm is going off is because there is a contact that has come loose. There's something stuck on the inside of a windowsill, so she tries to stick it back to the windowsill. It falls off again, triggering the alarm, and then we hear thumping noises from behind Athena. Because the homeowner's husband is not away on business, she bricked him inside the wall.
And I don't know how Athena immediately jumps to the conclusion that her husband is behind the wall. She
She has X-ray vision like her husband. It's fine.
Anyway.
So apparently these two were going to get a divorce, and then COVID hit, the courts shut down, they couldn't get their divorce decree, and the husband refused to move out. So the blue tape was them kind of delineating their areas in the house. The stickers were him picking what he was going to take with him when he did move out. The homeowner reached her breaking point, everyone take a drink, and stabbed him in the back with barbecue tongs, or barbecue fork.
Yeah.
It didn't look like that serious of a stab wound, and then I don't think you can brick up a wall and plaster a wall that quickly.
No,
that
I
he
don't
would still
understand.
be like semi-conscious and semi-breathing behind the wall.
Yeah, and she's also done such a good job of it that it looks perfect. Like,
yes,
it doesn't look like
because
a DIY
if it's
job.
COVID, she's not getting contractors to come in and do it, so she's having to do it herself. But yes, that's what she's done. She stabbed her husband, and then she built a tomb for him in the downstairs bedroom.
And when they find him, when Bobby looks with the infrared camera and says he's still there, and she goes, "What, he's still alive?" I mean, great.
Yeah, somehow he's also still alive.
Yeah.
So how is he still alive? I don't know. But anyhow.
How long has this been?
It just doesn't make any sense. And the thing is, I could possibly accept this, like, the complete ridiculousness of this storyline if it moved another storyline on further, but it doesn't. It's a standalone storyline just about someone reaching their breaking point, but it just does not make sense.
It's weird.
No.
Yeah, none of it makes sense.
And this lady's breaking point is sending her to prison.
I didn't even find it entertaining. Like,
we don't even care.
Nope.
Yeah, like some of them are like make no sense, but are funny. Like this, I don't get this one. Like it's not funny at all.
No.
It's just weird.
Yeah, like I think in Jinx, we talked about how a lot of Jinx and a lot of other episodes, the storylines are literally just for the drama. You have to switch your brain off and not think about it.
Like, the octopus one is so dumb, like, as if an octopus would get stuck to someone's head. But it's so funny that, like, who cares?
Yeah, that one's funny. I liked it.
The other writers, the way that they tell the story, the acting in the story, the way that they tie it in with the rest of the episode, it's entertaining enough that you are willing to overlook the inconsistencies because it's fun.
Yeah.
This one, I am not willing to overlook the inconsistencies because this is fucking boring.
Yeah, it's boring, it's dumb.
Okay,
like,
who wrote this one? Who
this was written by David Grossman. It looks like, sorry, no, he was the director. Bob Goodman was the writer. I've never heard of this dude before.
Oh, that's awkward. He is a co-executive producer on 911 and 911 Lone Star.
Oh, well.
Yikes.
So he's like Tim Minear's bestie.
That's really interesting. He wrote this one, but then he also wrote Treasure Hunt.
Oh man, Treasure Hunt was good.
That's what I mean. Like, that's really interesting.
Maybe he just had a bad one, a bad writer's room experience with this one.
He wrote one Lone Star episode. He wrote 4 911 episodes. He wrote 2 in season 4 and 2 in season 5.
I wonder if Treasure Hunt is the outlier because the writer's room came up with all the ideas and he was the one that sat down and actually put them to paper. And that's why it's better, because other people had input and he was just the scribe. Anyway, he didn't do a very good job in this episode.
I mean, the dialogue's funny. Like, a lot of it, like the siege thing was silly, but the actual execution of it was quite funny. Maybe it was just that the individual ideas themselves were kind of dumb, and some of the dialogue is quite good. But
maybe
anyway, this particular scene just didn't hit.
Yeah, no.
Nope. So when we finally get to the end of that scene, we're going to go back to the Diaz house, where it's dinner time.
It's
Eddie's
Thursday
cooking.
night.
Christopher's ripping up iceberg lettuce to make a salad. Holy shit, maybe Eddie cooked dinner. He's have a thing for iceberg lettuce.
That's all that they could afford in props this week. It's just iceberg lettuce.
It's just lettuce and cheese.
The same iceberg lettuce.
And like a block of cheddar.
I hate iceberg lettuce.
Do you?
I do not like iceberg lettuce. No,
I like it. It's
hate
crunchy.
I can't stand it. I like other types of lettuce. Like, I like rocket, and I usually just have rocket and spinach, but I hate iceberg lettuce. And it's in all the salads, and I freaking hate it, and it's just bleh.
Yeah, it's because it's cheap.
Yeah, don't like it. Not a fan of iceberg lettuce.
The crunchiness pleases me. I'm easy with lettuce.
Do not serve me. Oh, I like the like cos
yeah.
lettuce. Yep, I like cos lettuce. I like rocket. Do not like iceberg lettuce. I like the fancy like purple ones and stuff. Do not like iceberg. Do not feed me iceberg lettuce.
Well, apparently Alice is not going to be. Alice is not going to be having dinner at the Diaz household anymore, which is probably good because nobody's having salad after Eddie starts this conversation with Christopher.
Exactly. I'm with Chris. I would also be doing this.
You would be throwing it on the floor?
Yep.
So, yeah, Eddie decides that while Christopher is busy, distracted, he's going to bring up his friend, the friend that Christopher was asking him about, the woman friend. Chris is immediately
he's like, there's something I want to talk to you about. And Chris is like, what's wrong? Is the lettuce too big? And Eddie's like, no, lettuce is looking awesome. Going to be a killer salad. It's like, okay, whatever. It's iceberg lettuce, but sure.
Yeah. So when Christopher hears that it's a woman friend, he's immediately like, a girlfriend. And Eddie's like, yeah. I mean, we haven't, defined the relationship and, decided if we were going to use those terms, but I guess you could say so. I really like her, and I think you'll like her too. And Chris is like, no, I won't. And he slaps the salad bowl off the bench and it shatters on the tile floor, and then he storms out the room as best he can. And then we hear a door slamming in the background because he's gone and locked himself in the room.
Yeah.
Oh,
because he's really mad.
It's where it belongs, on the floor.
Oh, but poor Eddie is just looking sadly at his broken bowl and
so
letters.
the chat did not go as he was hoping.
No. Speaking of dinners not going the way people thought they were going to go, we're over at Veronica's loft, which is just Buck's loft in a different
same set,
font.
but redressed. Yeah.
Where Buck is sitting in an armchair in the living room very nervously while Veronica is puttering around in the kitchen and Albert is making up cocktails.
But she's wondering, is your date still coming? Because no one has turned up. That, Buck said he was bringing someone, but she's not there. And just then there's a knock on the door and Buck goes to answer it. So he's invited Taylor directly to Veronica's house instead of his house.
Yes. It also appears that he has not told her what's going on, because she comes in and she's all apologetic about being late because she had trouble finding parking. And Buck tells her that it's fine. Let me introduce you to everyone. And she's like, who's everyone? And turns around to see Albert and Veronica just sort of looking at her.
So she was not told that it was a double date.
No, so Buck introduces, like, Taylor, this is Albert and Veronica. And Albert's like, oh, it's nice to meet you. Buck has told me nothing about you. And Taylor's gone, well, I have heard so much about you, Albert, Veronica.
Yep.
Yeah,
Buck.
because Buck didn't shut up about them the whole time that they were
For
together the other
6
day.
hours. He talked about
6
them for
hours.
6 hours.
Yep.
Veronica seems thrilled to see her because she recognizes Taylor. She's like, I watched you during that siege. That was great reporting. She offers Taylor a glass of wine. Taylor's, oh, why stop at a glass?
Yeah, Taylor's very unimpressed already.
And when Buck leads her into the sitting living area, she sort of mutters at him, I thought that you were inviting me over for dinner, maybe some sex. Like, is this even your apartment? Were you lying about the apartment? And Buck's like, no, it's not my apartment, but we could still do those things. And Taylor's like, yeah.
Yeah, like,
no.
I'm still down for sex. Like, what?
No.
I mean, to be
Taylor is
fair,
not down for sex.
it is Taylor Kelly. Anyway, what happened? Yeah, I have no idea what they were talking about. Taylor looked real mad and it was hot.
She does look lovely in this scene. Yes.
Stuff happens.
But she is mad.
Like, she knows what she wants. It was not a double date.
Dinner is still going to be a little while, so Veronica has whipped up some appetizers for them to enjoy while they're waiting, and they're at the getting to know you portion of the dinner. She asks Taylor and Buck, how long have you been dating? And Taylor's like, oh no, we're not dating. We're more like friends with benefits.
Yeah, we hang out on more of an as-needed basis. And Buck's trying to save it, and he's like, oh, we've known each other for a while. I pulled her out of a crashed news helicopter, saved her life.
Taylor's not impressed.
Yeah.
But Veronica goes, oh, that is heroic. And Albert says, well, that's just a regular date for Buck. It's like, dude.
Yeah. Taylor's had enough. She just goes, oh, we already know how you met Albert. Buck can't stop talking about it.
And Buck's so uncomfortable, and Taylor's like, yep, now you know how I feel.
Albert's like trying to move the conversation along, and he didn't meet jaded, cynical, bitter Veronica. So he's really surprised that the woman that he knows, bubbly, happy, full of life Veronica and Buck didn't get on. Yeah. Taylor just says,
I love Taylor.
Buck can be intimidated by strong women. He needs a good ego stroke every now and then. And Veronica's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Taylor's like, you know what? Neither am I. I'm out. And she gets up and literally just walks straight out of the apartment.
Yeah, just leaves.
Iconic.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
his ego
Right.
that you're usually stroking, Taylor. But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, Buck chases her out and it's just like, oh, it's not what you think. And Taylor's like, oh, that you didn't really want to see me. You just needed them to see you with me. And then calls him needy. It's like, God, you're so needy. And it's just like, yeah, we know that, but you can't just say that, Taylor. Like, oh my God.
No, it's even better. She says to his face, you just can't stand the idea of someone not liking you. And Buck's like, well, that's not, I mean, I'm very likable.
Very likable.
I felt sorry for Buck in this moment.
But yeah,
but
so
Taylor
no,
has
Buck's-
Taylor
ripped
goes
him a
out
new one.
apologises.
She's like, I'm
Yep.
not sticking around for this bullshit. Bye.
But yeah, so Buck apologizes and was like, yeah, I knew it was going to be super awkward and didn't want to sit through it alone, so I phoned a friend. And Taylor's like, yeah, I wish that was true because I could really use a friend these days. But if this is how you treat your friends, maybe the problem isn't Albert, maybe it's you. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You're gonna
Taylor's
need a
going
couple of
through some
emergency
shit.
therapy sessions after this, Buck.
Yep.
I know, right? But yeah, Taylor is going through some shit and did not want to deal with Buck's shit while she was doing so.
Uh-huh.
And good on her. Go, Taylor.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm 100% Team Taylor in this.
Get
I mean,
that
I
boy.
love Buck, but nothing she said
See,
was
that
untrue.
writing was great. I just don't know what happened to the last scene. Maybe they just wrote some real good 118 scenes and then were like, oh shit, we need some emergencies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Maybe we judged old mate too fast. Maybe he's not so bad. after all.
I'm still reserving judgment. I'm side-eyeing him. So
All
yes.
right. What is Eddie up to?
He's FaceTiming with Anna, reporting back. Look, I tried to tell Chris about you and he had a total meltdown. So Anna gives Eddie the out. She's like, if Christopher has been through so much and she doesn't want to cause him any more pain. If she and Eddie need to take a break, then that's fine. And Eddie's like, no, we're not taking a break. You're not going anywhere. You got it? She's like, okay, I got it.
We
Cool.
can figure it out. It's like, Jesus, okay.
We will figure it out. He ends the call, closes his laptop, and then yells for Christopher. Nothing.
No response.
He's a little bit annoyed now. Like, Christopher, get your ass in here. No response. Walks to the doorway. Christopher. Still no response. And now he's absolutely pissed. And he goes to Christopher's room and he's like, look, buddy, I know you're mad. Opens the door. There is no Christopher.
Yeah, he's gone.
The room is empty.
Room is empty.
The house is empty.
So he starts freaking out. He's like checking in the closet. He's searching through the room, calling Christopher's name, getting more and more frantic. Thankfully, his phone starts to ring. So his
phone is in Christopher's bed.
It's going to tear the bed apart to find the phone.
Yeah.
Because it's under in all the sheets. He checks the caller ID and sees that it's Buck calling. He's like, Buck, you gotta help me. Christopher. And Buck interrupts him and says, he's here. He's at my place.
He is here. Christopher stole Eddie's phone and used it to call an Uber.
And Father of the Year did not notice A, his phone missing, or B, his child leaving his house to
I was
catch
like,
an
did
Uber.
he climb out the window?
Surely
like,
isn't
how?
that quiet?
He can't climb out the window.
But how did he
even
get
if
out
he-
the door without Eddie noticing?
Even if he had climbed out the window, like, assuming you meant, like, out of his bedroom window, but the curtains were closed when Eddie walked in. What did he do, climb out the window and then close the curtains behind him?
I don't know. He's bigger now than he was, like, when we first met him. Maybe he was able
Like,
to.
he just walked out the front door and Eddie didn't notice.
But yeah, somehow
Like-
he got out the door. Anyway, he made his way to Buck's place and
Yes.
he's sitting on the couch looking a bit sheepish.
Can we just Chris had a moment where he's hating his dad and he doesn't want to be at home. So he goes to Buck's.
Yeah.
Can we just
goes
take a
to
moment?
Bucks.
Oh, it was so sweet. I'm like, of course he goes to
so
Buck's.
Like, he could
cute.
have gone. I don't know where. No, I don't think he had anywhere else to go because I don't think his abuelita is available. I think she's gone back down to Texas at this point. But still, he went to Bucks.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a really sweet conversation here.
Yeah. So while Eddie is on his way to come pick Christopher up, Buck decides to have a heart-to-heart with Chris. And Chris is like, I don't want to talk about it. And Buck says, well, we're going to talk about something while we wait for your dad, so we may as well talk about that.
He goes, you were there for me when I needed to talk, so now I want to be here for you. It's what friends do.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I trauma dumped on you. So now it's your turn to trauma dump on me.
But yeah, Chris is very sad about his dad dating.
Dad's dating.
But it's not... Chris isn't sad for the reason that you would think. Chris is sad because, like, so Buck's like, you know, maybe it feels like he's forgetting your mum, but Chris, I promise you. And Chris is like, I wish I could forget. And Buck's like, what? So Chris's problem is not that he doesn't want his dad dating and, like, forgetting his mum. Chris's problem is that he keeps getting attached to people and then they go away. So not just mum, but Abuelita, Carla, and his friends, they leave and then he misses them and he doesn't want to miss anyone else.
Oh, Chris.
And it's like, oh, like COVID would be really hard to explain to a, what is he, like 8 now?
Yeah, I think he's older than that, but by the time you get to that age, you know better about people coming and going, but it's still, you still miss people, of course you do.
Yeah, like his mum died. That's not just a, you know, little thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Buck's like, yeah, people go away and it's sad and it hurts. But not everyone goes away forever. Sometimes they come back. And as much as we miss them, that's how happy we are. That's how happy we are to see them again. Your grandma, your friends, Carla, you're going to see them all again.
And until then, Chris has still got Buck because Buck is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Aww.
And he gets a big Chris hug for that. And Chris tells him that he's a good friend. And Buck's face falls. He's like, sometimes I'm a good friend. Apparently I'm a good friend.
Yeah, like he was just told he's a shit. Yeah, he was just told he was a shit friend. And Chris is like, you're a great friend. And he's just like, yeah, to a 10-year-old. Like,
Aww.
Oh, and then Madney. Poor Chim.
Yes. It's, I'm guessing, Friday morning, because all of that happened Thursday night. We come back from commercial to Chimney walking into the main part of his and Maddie's apartment. And Maddie says, oh, hey, you're up. So I'm assuming that it's morning time. He's just woken up. And Maddie is... Look, pregnant people are supposed to be nursing and they're supposed to rearrange shit because you get, like, that urge to organize. But she's turning the living area into a delivery suite. And she wants Chim to help her move the table because she's going to give birth in the dining room. Mostly because she thinks it's going to be easier to clean up than the bedroom. And Chimney loses it. He's just like, nope, I can't. The sight of the dining room table suddenly turned into a full-on medical station probably doesn't help situation either.
Yeah.
She's got more supplies on that table than Hen had in her medical first aid kit.
Yeah, in her entire house, yeah.
Yes. So Chim tells her, I can't. Maddie assumes that he means that he can't help her move the table. I'm just like, oh, no, you just woke up. That's fine. Go have some coffee, and then you can come helping. And Chim's like, no, I'm not talking about I can't move the table. I can't do a home birth because he needs Maddie not to die. And Maddie tells him, I'm not going to die. And then Chim reels off. He has calculated and timed how long, worst case scenario, it would take if they needed to get Maddie to a hospital. And it's 13 minutes. All up from a call being made, the RA being dispatched, getting the gurney up to their apartment, getting her back down to the RA unit and then to the hospital. It's 13 minutes. And so much can go wrong in 13 minutes. He tells her, do you know... He says, do you know what can go wrong in 13 minutes? Because I do. I see it every day. We lose so many people in transit. And I can deal with it if it's other people, but I don't think I can deal with it if it's you.
Oh, Chim. He just looks so sad, this whole scene.
It feels a lot like PTSD kind of thing. Like he's seen so much and now it's becoming real because of someone that he knows that he's worried about. So Maddie says that she's not. She says it's okay, and Chim's like, no, it's not. And she's like, no, it's okay because we don't have to do this. Like, I love you. I'm not going to put you through that. And so, we don't have to do it here. And Chim is so relieved.
I love this scene. I love this scene for Kenneth because we get some amazing acting out of Kenneth.
Yeah.
But I don't know that this scene was necessary because it feels like Maddie had already accepted the having the baby wherever because all that's important is that I have a baby at the end of it, which she reached after her conversation with Athena.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like Athena's like, oh, hey, like maybe don't do a home birth because like you have a medical background and regardless, like it's going to be great. And Maddie's like, yeah, cool. I'm going to go buy all these supplies. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if she was so hell-bent on like turning her house into a home birthing station, would she really have changed her tune that quickly?
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. Like I said, I love it. Kenneth does amazing. Kenneth is so good at the emotional scenes. I don't understand this scene, why this scene is necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she thought that Chim was on board with having a home birth. So she went ahead with it, and then it turned out that he wasn't. She was like, okay, we won't do that.
No, but I thought, like, she was on board with having a hospital birth again, because all that matters is how the baby got, what was that she got a baby, not how the baby got there. So she changed her mind back to a hospital birth.
Maybe
but
this
then hadn't.
Should have been this. No, that because she changed her mind. I don't know.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. But no. So we appreciate Kenneth's performance, but we don't think it was necessary.
Yeah. Now we get the scene that I feel like this whole episode was written for.
Possibly.
So we're back at the 118 firehouse, and you can hear the news in the background on the TV. Meanwhile, Buck's walking up the stairs, leaving a message for Taylor, who we can hear on the TV. And Buck's like, hey Taylor, it's Buck. I was really hoping at some point you may stop ducking my calls. And Hen just looks up from the TV and goes, I think she's a little busy right now. And sure enough, she's live on TV. But it's really sad. So the hospital is at full capacity due to COVID. And that's where we see the marquees set up in the parking lot as temporary hospitals/treatment rooms.
With a big, like we see later on, there's a big sign across the back of one of them that says COVID overflow. So they're having to treat the COVID patients out in the parking lot. And they are even, Taylor is talking to camera saying that they're having to ration care, which I'm guessing, I don't even know what that means, but it upsets her a lot to the point where she has to turn her back.
At the start of COVID, I remember Italy, it was a big thing where they basically had to choose who was going to live and who was going to die. So
that's
like
just
they
triage.
Instead of putting, yeah, but like they literally like
they
were like, okay, like you're old, you're not getting treatment. Yeah.
They couldn't treat everybody.
It's horrible, but it's triage. That's what you do in an emergent situation. I know that sounds really callous and cold for me to say it like that, but it's triage. That's what happens. You have to assess your patients, and the ones who are at most risk, the ones that you can save are the ones that you save. The ones that you don't think you have a chance of saving, unfortunately, you don't. You move your resources to saving like, the people that you can save. These people
may have just been mildly sick, but because they didn't have enough like oxygen.
Yeah, they could have saved everybody if they'd had enough facilities and stuff.
They literally were like, okay, you're not too bad now, but you're also 80, so, and we've got a, 21-year-old with kids, so we're going to have to give the oxygen to her instead of you.
Yes.
Whereas if they had all the beds and stuff, they would have been able to save them. But yeah, so they're having to ration care. It doesn't really make sense, this part, because at the start of the season, they were lifting COVID restrictions again.
Yeah, it feels like this storyline is very pointed for the time at which it was written and aired, and as if the writers were trying to get a story across, and they're like, we know that this doesn't fit into the COVID narrative that we've been playing out through this season. Fuck it, we want to tell this story. It doesn't matter that it doesn't make sense to what we've set up in-universe.
Yeah.
So Taylor is incredibly overwhelmed by this. She has to turn her back to camera to continue giving her piece.
Yeah.
And Buck is watching her. Is very, very upset on her behalf. They finally clear, and Taylor takes a moment to compose herself and sends her cameraman to, like, first of all, to leave her alone, to go and see what's going on in the distance, because we see a man in a lab coat having a very emotional phone call as two women in scrubs race up to him, and they have a very heated conversation.
Meanwhile, Taylor looks at her phone and notices how many missed calls that she has from Buck on it. But before she can do anything about that, the cameraman guy calls her over. So there's obviously something going on over there. Meanwhile, back at the 118 house, Buck's phone rings and it's actually Taylor. And Buck answers it by saying, hey, I wanted to apologise. And Taylor's like, shut up and listen to me. I don't need an apology, Buckley. I need a miracle.
I need a miracle.
Very dramatic dialogue, but gets the point across.
So this storyline that's about to unfold is apparently a ripped from the headlines storyline. What happens next actually happened in LA in January.
Oh.
Which is about when this episode was being filmed. So
this episode was filmed early February, I believe, if we can trust Oliver's social media posting.
Yeah, so it happened, and then a couple weeks later they filmed this episode, basically.
Yes. So what happened is that a hospital freezer broke, and it was a freezer that specifically was storing COVID-19 vaccinations. And they have thawed, and unless they can get the vaccines into arms of people, the vaccines are going to go to waste. It's about 1,000 vials in the freezer. The hospital have been trying to get people to come in, but there are still 600 vials that could possibly go to waste. And they've got 2 hours to get them out and into people. So the LAFD and the LAPD mobilize to get the vaccines out to clinics, to nursing homes, and to set up vaccination stations and get as many people through those stations and vaccinated as they can. Including Michael, who gets his vaccination as Bobby and Athena look on fondly. And I am specifically pointing out Michael because that's going to be an interesting point at the end of the season.
Oh. Okay.
So we'll put a pin on that. But it works. All of their efforts don't go to waste. They get all of the vaccines out and administered, and everyone is vaccinated, and it's all is right with the world, at least for this part of it, once again.
Buck checks
As
in with
Taylor
Taylor.
said, she was looking for a miracle, and Buck gave her one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she says, I was looking for a miracle and you gave me one, even after I said those terrible things. Why? I'm like, why do you think, Taylor? Because, and Buck says, because that's how you treat a friend.
because that's how you treat a friend.
Yeah. That's how you treat a friend with benefits.
Yeah. Then Taylor pulls down her mask and gives him a kiss on the cheek, and the subtitles very helpfully put smooches.
Smooches. COVID smooches. But yes, even with the mask on, he looks very pretty in this scene.
The hair,
like
great. I love his curls.
He does look very
the
good
way
this
that they've got
episode.
it, like the bouffant and the way it sort of swoops and the height to it. I don't know what it is, but it is working for him.
Like when he was leaning on the doorway when Eddie got home. Ugh,
Oh,
love that. I love that scene.
Oh yes. Speaking of Eddie, we're going to temporarily go back to the Diaz household, where Eddie has decided that he is going to introduce Christopher to his lady friend. He apparently hasn't told Christopher who his lady friend is yet. He's going to spring it on him. But the joke's on him because Christopher sees Anna and immediately runs over and hugs her. So if he had just told Chris at the very beginning,
Yeah, I feel
it's
like
Anna.
I feel like it would have been
I
a
think it
lot
would have been
easier.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, hey, do you miss your teacher, Miss whatever Anna's last name is?
Flores.
And Chris would be like, yeah. And he's like, thank you. Could not remember it. And I was just like, yep. Yeah, if he was like, oh, do you miss her? And Chris would have been like, so much. Eddie would have been like, cool, let's go to lunch with her. And then like, then like a day later, by the way, like, how would you feel? Like, introduce it a bit better than just like, oh, I'm seeing someone random.
How do you feel if Miss Flores was your new mother?
Yeah.
Oh. Just jumping ahead a little bit, but yeah. I mean, they could have just started going, like, could have started coming over for dinner and he would have been like, connecting the dots.
He just had to say that the lady friend was Miss Flores. It would have been fine.
Yeah, he would have been
literally, he was just being very dramatic about it.
But, oh, I'm sorry. Edmundo Diaz, dramatic?
Yeah, right? Who'd have
that
thought?
bitch is so dramatic. From there, we cut to the Madney apartment where we see Chimney and Maddie packing Maddie's hospital bag, which I put in the notes that when I was watching this, I don't think that's Chimney and Maddie. I think that's Kenneth and Jennifer.
Oh.
Because Maddie says, I love you, and Chimney says ditto. And
yeah,
Maddie's got like a onesie in her hand that she's like supposed to fold and put into the hospital bag, and she just throws it at Kenneth. And he catches it and just throws it back at her. And I 100% feel like this was like an extra take that they did, and he's just gone, I don't know what the line was supposed to be, but he's gone, I'm not going to say it, I'm just going to like muck around. And it was so cute that they kept it. Because after he throws the onesie back at Jennifer, it lands on the fake belly. She's like, oh, I'm just going to leave it there. Look how cute that is. This onesie stretched out over my belly like that. That's so cute.
Yeah, it's a weird scene for them to do. But if you think of it as mucking around, it makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super
Because I think
though.
we've seen so many other scenes where it looks like Kenneth and Jennifer, not Chimney and Maddie. Like I'm thinking of the popcorn in the pocket.
I love their friendship so much. Did you see the popcorn? Did you see Kenneth's reel where like during the hiatus he was like, oh, I miss my wife, and then he walks into a movie theater and was just like, I hope I can see her face, and then she's on the poster. What she did last summer. It's so cute. I love them.
He's so supportive of her career outside of 911. It's adorable.
And I love that she was supposed to be paired up with Eddie, and she was like, actually, I want this one instead.
I don't want that one, I want this one.
Yeah, I want this one.
So, another quick scene. We're going to go to Buck's loft, where Albert has returned from Veronica's apartment because Veronica broke up with him, or he broke up with her, or maybe it was a mutual thing. No, I think he says he broke up with her because she did not approve of his friends. Like Buck, she didn't approve of Buck. She probably loved Taylor.
Yeah, he doesn't have any other friends.
Like Buck.
Yeah.
Oh.
We
haven't met any of his friends. Like, maybe he does have friends now.
You're not wrong, but that's so blunt.
I'm
poor Albert.
I'm just speaking from the viewer's point of view. We have not seen his friends.
Yeah. I mean, it's COVID. It's hard to get friends.
Yeah, you can't just go out anymore. But anyway, Buck has Thai food to make him feel better.
Yeah, the Thai food that Albert mentioned earlier has finally materialised. So the two bachelors sit down for some, curry and noodles. Eddie and Chris and Anna look like they're getting ready to sit down and watch a movie. Anna is sitting on the couch, and Eddie and Chris are hovering in the doorway having a whispered conversation that she 100% can hear. It's an adorable conversation, but it looks like they've clearly come from the kitchen with big bowls of popcorn, so why they couldn't have had that conversation in the kitchen, I don't know. But Christopher is
That's not
happy
where the
to
camera
see
was
Anna.
set up.
Christopher is happy to see Anna, but he's a little bit apprehensive because she's a really hard grader. And
That's
Eddie
okay,
says,
maybe she'll grave Eddie on a curve.
I'm like, oh, that's what she said. I don't know, for some reason that line just seemed really dirty to me.
Oh my god.
But it goes over Christopher's head and he just heads further into the room and announces that they've got popcorn.
So
and then the 9 apparently need to go and like get bathed in holy water because I'm an abomination. And then to end the episode, we go to the Wilson household.
Yeah, Hen gets home. She says, "You'll never believe what I found at the hospital gift store." Why was she at the hospital? I've just assumed it would be like a carry on from the previous call or whatever, but she wasn't at the hospital today in this episode.
No, she was doing the COVID
at the hospital
vaccinations.
doing
she
the
was
COVID
doing the
vaccinations.
COVID
She was,
vaccinations.
but she was in the car park.
But does that mean that she was like administering all the vaccinations and then when the 1A team were like packing up, getting ready to go, she's like, "Hang on, boys, I just want to go inside and do some shopping"?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, clearly.
She notices that Karen isn't particularly overjoyed to see her walk in the door, and so she turns around and Deirdre's there, the social worker.
And Hen asks Karen, because Karen looks absolutely devastated, is something wrong? And she's sort of couldn't put 2 and 2 together that Karen's face is because of Deirdre. And Deirdre explains that her office has been working with Nia's birth mother to prepare for reunification, and it's time to start that process. And Hen's like, "What are you talking about?" And Karen says, "We have to give Nia back."
Oh.
And that's where the episode ends. No, not oh.
You don't approve?
That's the whole point. No, that's the whole point of fostering. Is you are giving the child a safe place to be while their parents get their shit together, and the goal is for the child to go back to their parents.
Yeah.
You don't foster fail a foster child like you can with a cat or a dog.
Yeah, then she's not a puppy.
She has parents, and it sounds like her mother is doing everything she can to get Nia back. So I told you I had issues with the fostering storyline.
Yeah. It's not great.
This reaction, we have to give Nia back, is why I have problems with this fostering storyline.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, it's making you feel for the parent, like the foster parents who have brought this child into their home and cared for her, and then they have, like, yes, they have to give back. They have to let the child go back to their parents. But that's got to hurt still, right?
Oh, 100%. But I think we should put a pin in this conversation because this storyline is going to continue. And we can talk a little bit later after the storyline continues on how the show continues the storyline and how problematic I think it is the way they continue.
That's it. Like, it's definitely worse. Having seen the rest of the storyline, it's definitely worse on rewatch.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. I guess I'll look forward to that then.
Yeah.
Like 100% I feel, well, actually, no, I don't. In theory, I would feel for foster parents who have taken a child and have fallen in love with them. It must be incredibly difficult to hand them back. But it's not what happens with this storyline in this episode. I'm not feeling for them at all.
I guess I'll keep my comments until I hear more about it then. Shall I?
Yeah, sorry.
Weird episode. Weird mid-season finale.
So we didn't fully discuss the COVID storyline. So do we want to go back and just talk about why we think they threw in this weird not consistent with their in-universe established COVID.
Yes, tell us your theories.
Right, so my theories was that this episode was filmed early February. We know that because of, if we can trust Oliver's posting to social media, because early February, like thinking like 1st, 2nd of February, he posted a photo of him and Gavin from the scene that they did in this episode. So early February, like December, January was when COVID vaccines really started getting rolled out. So I think that this episode was vaccine propaganda, was pushing the go out and get vaccinated.
Yeah.
And it was initially my thoughts that came down, like that was an edict from on high, that someone in the upper echelons of the network has, for whatever reason, decided that they wanted to push the let's get everybody vaccinated message out. But considering that it's Fox at this stage, I don't know that it did come from the network. So I'm thinking that from within the writer's room, somebody has gone, vaccine take-up rates are really low. The crew and the cast of 911 suffered a lot of losses. Like, we know that the first episode back for this season, they dedicated it to a crew member who died of COVID. So it's my feeling that someone in the writer's room, a lot of people in the writer's room have gone, like, people need to go out and get fucking vaccinated. So let's put a vaccine storyline in to try and encourage, look, your favourite characters are all pro-vaccine, and showing Michael and the others getting their vaccination. So you too can go out and get your vaccinations. It's really important that you get vaccinated.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know how it worked. Like, were there actually people who watched this and then went, you know what, actually maybe I will go and get my vaccine?
It would be interesting.
I'm always basing my medical decisions on what I see on TV.
Yeah, but if you'd been putting it off and then you saw this and you're like, yeah, okay, let's go and do it. Like, no, I'm not saying that just because these people definitely got theirs, then I must do it as well. But, you know, you've got to plant it in people's minds. Yeah.
Look, I've done weirder things because a TV character told me to, so luckily I haven't started dealing drugs or ripping off Armenian cartels yet, considering I'm still watching The Shield, but...
But yeah, maybe it was like that. The tipping point was, oh, you know, my favorite TV show and my favorite actors are showing the vaccines are really important because look how much they're stressing about the fact that these vaccines could go to waste, and all of my favorite characters are rolling up their sleeves and getting their vaccines. So maybe I should go do it too because they seem to think it's okay. So yes, that's my theory as to why we've got this weird, doesn't fit in their established COVID narrative storyline.
I mean, it did happen in the real world that things looked better and then they looked worse again. I mean, I think possibly in America it just got progressively worse as it went on. It didn't actually, they didn't have as many dips and troughs.
Yeah, so I don't know, because we were locked down in Melbourne for a long time. So we were very stable. Like, we only opened up for like a month. They opened us up over Christmas and then closed us straight back down again. So I don't... really
our borders were closed as well though. Like, we had hardly any movement between states and everything. Like in Queensland we weren't locked down, but we had hardly any COVID because, you know, people weren't coming and going, and most people just stayed home and worked at home anyway.
That's it. Like, it really hit Melbourne hard, which is why we locked down so much, because the hospitals started being overwhelmed, so they were like, okay, no, we have to...
Well, yeah, because you guys had the international airport, like you in New South Wales. That's where all the travellers were coming in from, and the cruise ships were coming into Victoria and New South Wales. So you were getting all of the people who had just come back from international holidays and had brought COVID with them.
Yep.
Because we saw that with Tassie, like we locked down and everything was fine. And then a cruise ship came in. And someone decided, oh, the people who live in Tassie can get off the cruise ship and go back home, except they brought COVID with them.
Oh, my God.
And so, like, Devonport got absolutely decimated because they suddenly had all of these COVID cases.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So we got locked down even harder after that. Nobody was allowed to come back in.
Oh, those were the times. It seems like so long ago.
I know, it seems so weird now.
Anyway, should we talk about what we are going to talk about next week?
Yeah, what's happening
Because it is
next
going to
week?
be next week. We promise it's going to be next week.
Don't promise. That's stage 1 of a medical drama. You never promise.
Never promise.
Jesus Christ.
Don't say the Q word and never promise to deliver.
Never make promises.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't promise. We will try really hard.
We will attempt
to get an episode to you next week. Because next week the Athena and the 118 are going to race to save lives after a drunk driver causes a deadly pileup on the freeway. Meanwhile, Maddie goes into labour. Han and Karen are devastated as they prepare their foster daughter to be reunited with their birth mother. Oh no, we're not going to mention that. Okay. That's it. You've got the deadly pile-up on the freeway, Maddie goes into labour, and Nia is going back to her birth mother.
Okay.
Yep.
Our triggers for this episode is childbirth,
The baby's coming.
foster care system, multi-vehicle accident due to drunk driving, which includes a child at threat, multiple injuries and fatalities, and a minor character at threat.
Would we say minor? Semi-major, kind of major character at threat?
No, I'm still going minor. We can discuss this further once Ellen discovers which character it is.
Okay.
Well, Maddie goes into labour, so I'm sure everything's fine. You know, it's a TV show about emergencies, so I'm sure that nothing bad will happen.
Don't say that. It's gonna be fine.
Maybe grab a box of tissues before
Oh
you.
dear. Okay. Anything else about this episode we
On that
want
note.
to say? Yeah.
No, this episode sucked. I'm glad I don't have to watch it again. The two and a half things that saved this episode were, one, the Buck, Eddie, Christopher family dynamic. That was
Yes.
adorable.
Yeah.
Two, Taylor Kelly.
Yes.
Icon.
Yeah, the 118 stuff was real good. Taylor Kelly was real good. The emergencies were real shit.
Yeah, and specifically the jump scene.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Everything else I care not for.
Yeah.
The whole of that, the guy waiting around on the roof thing was pretty funny, actually. I liked that.
Yeah, that was great. That was the best part of the episode, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, everything else was kind of meh. Right. Not our favourite.
Definitely not. Not the worst, but I may not watch this episode again if I decide to binge the series again.
Fair.
I'd watch a couple of the scenes again, but not.
Yeah, just like skip through to watch your favourite scenes and then move on.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought we were closer to the end of the season than we are. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
We're halfway.
6. We've got 6 episodes to go. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa.
We're living on a prayer.
Living on prayer? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, do let us know if you thought this episode was as bad as we did. Or let us know what the redeeming thing was for you as well. How much do you love Taylor Kelly?
Do you have any knowledge of house building and plastering? And do you know how quickly that woman could have built a brick wall and plastered it?
Honestly, I do not care. That was
It was brick, wasn't it? It wasn't plaster, it was brick, wasn't it?
It was
brick.
literal brick.
They knocked down the bricks to get to him. Yeah.
Plaster,
Yes.
look, you can put a wall up quite quickly. Because we've just, built my little house thing. And you can just get a sheet of plaster and, put a frame up and nail gun a sheet of plaster in and then paint it.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, but she built a brick wall.
But it was brick,
It was
wasn't it?
brick.
Yeah.
She bricked him
Yes.
in.
It was so weird, yeah.
She bricked him in and then she put the plaster over the top of it. So that's my question.
No,
How long does
honestly,
it take to build a freaking brick wall?
I'm bricking up the memory of that call in my mind. I don't care. Don't care.
I also forgot about it. So
We're building a
just looking it
tomb
up.
for that particular emergency.
Totally.
Yep,
Sorry.
that's it.
All right, let us know. You can leave us a comment.
No, don't let us know. Ellen doesn't care.
Oh, no, I
Keep
don't
that
care.
information
Not
to
about
yourself.
that. Just let us know about the other stuff that
If
we
you're
asked
a
you about.
bricklayer,
No.
fast
Unfortunately,
have
we
you-
don't want to hear from you.
No. If you have other relevant comments, you can put them on this episode's post. Go to thatweewooshow.com. All of the details are there, or directly in Spotify. Or you can DM us on social media or however else you'd like to get in contact with us. Thank you for listening this week. We will talk to you next time about episode 9, which is called Blindsided. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
911 is a fictional show, but many of the situations portrayed happen in the real world too. If any of the topics we've discussed in this episode have affected you, please know you're not alone. You can call or text numbers in your country for help. Just Google crisis support in your location to find out the number. If you enjoy our podcast, you can help us out by leaving us a review on Spotify or your preferred listening app, and by sharing our social media posts. Find out more at thatweewooshow.com.